What's up, BP?
So I wanted to ask you guys a question. I'm a co-founder of another project as well, but one of the cool things about the Solana space is, I think as like a broader ecosystem, it's really supportive from project to project. We found DazedDucks because a lot of our members spoke highly of you guys. So myself and my two co-founders both are now Ducks owners as well. And we've really appreciated being able to hop into your space and kind of learn from you guys what you're doing, because our project just launched a couple days ago, and we're just seeing how you guys are maneuvering through the space. And we just jumped over from our Twitter space where we talked about how we respect other projects such as DazedDucks and a few others that we think are doing things the right way. So my question is right now for you guys basically is like, you just spoke to having like 6,000 unique wallets. One of our struggles as an early project is kind of getting exposure. What are some of the things that you did to like create like organic buzz around
testing one,
the Ducks?
Cool.
Yo, hey, Guava, we hear you.
Oh, it's on Wi-Fi.
Oh, man. Okay.
Yeah, so
did you hear the...
Yeah, so real quick, again, the question is basically like, what are some of the things that you guys did to get 6,000 unique people to join the Ducks? I'm sure there was like a exponential growth, but how at the very beginning that growth comes slowly. Like, what did you do to stay true to yourselves and not, cheat the system or shortchange yourself and do things the right way, but still create this amount of growth?
I mean, that comes from our origin being from the Caribbean and a small island in Antigua, and just starting with our local community first. So it kind of, built that really organic feel from the get-go, because these were real people. They were people that trusted us. There were people that loved us. There were friends, family, and they were trying to support the project and do whatever they had to. And that quickly moved on to the next level, which was, the region, the Caribbean region itself, seeing a project from the Caribbean doing, getting.
Yo.
Small rug?
Is that good, Rug?
Think so.
No, I'm good. I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
So, then we kind of moved to that next level, which are, were guys like Boast, which were actually the Caribbean diaspora. And again, it just all started from that tone we set. And then as we saw a lot of new people from the NFT come into the NFT space through DazedDucks, we really took this approach in our Discord and our community to be helpful and respectful and onboard them as best as possible. And that also kind of just built trust. So I guess it kind of started from just this transparency that we had from the beginning. And then obviously Guava's art, as I always say, just gets you in the door from the get-go.
That's awesome. That's like pretty much in line with what we're doing. So it's reassuring to hear that.
But I've seen you guys commenting on a few of our Instagram posts and tagging us, and as we always used to say, with the few people that we've done collabs offerings with, it's normally based on, how they interact with us and coming up into the spaces and, not just shilling their project. So like it being duck holders as well. These are the people that we want to help. We're trying to make actually the move where our collab requests are only available to duck holders. And that way it kind of just separates us from, getting in situations with projects that aren't always going to necessarily fulfill their roadmap or expectations,
Yeah, I completely understand that. And I mean, it's why I think it's important for us to be responsible. We've had a lot of conversations with our community, kind of adjusting for our social media rating. At first, it was a little aggressive and off-putting, but, we've tried to help educate our community about what's going to work. If we're supportive of other projects and other small businesses, I think it'll be reciprocated in a healthy way, versus, just going out and spamming people. We quickly, realized was like, could be really damaging to the brand.
100%. I know what it's like because I was that guy when we launched that was out there, literally shilling, not necessarily shilling. I took a very organic approach to it. I always tried to, be joking about it. I never was using like a copy and paste template. Sometimes it was even just simple hashtags, very contextual to what the person was posting. But there were occasions where guys were like, yo, get the F off my Twitter feed, bro. Nobody cares. And you have to be prepared to kind of face that, because in this space, we kind of all do have a little bad experience with either fudders, scammers, et cetera, even just bullies on social. And you kind of don't want to get involved in anything. So it is best to just be as like organic as possible. I see my presence on Twitter and Instagram as the same as if I were to walk into a bar or a party. I behave the same sort of way. And don't want to come across as just a salesperson.
Absolutely. Well, appreciate you answering my questions.
No problem, man. Good luck with the project, and let us know, what we can do to help. You broke the boundary just by coming up here and being so respectful.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's all we really are trying to continue to do is like slow, sustainable growth. If there is, if this is a bubble, like people say, and there is an NFT winter, we want to be the survivors. Just because there was a .com crash doesn't mean that Amazon and Google and, some of these other companies didn't become the behemoths they did. These types of pullbacks are just going to weed out the weak, and the projects that can be respectful and cooperate and I think, build organically in the right ways are going to be the ones that survive and do really well.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, 100%. And actually, I just wanted to add one more thing to that. And it is really important to think about these bear cycles and the ones that we've had, especially in the ICO. Right now, this is feeling very similar to the ICOs. Is like, okay, which are the ones that are going to survive? If I want to be a survivor one, how am I going to survive? And I do believe a lot of NFT projects may fizzle out because a lot of them, in my opinion, are taking the approach of releasing a collection and then another collection and another, and they're very like just NFT based on a business level. That's not going to survive unless they can then shift to some sort of like service, right? Or a tool or something that can help other NFT communities and creating, an income out of that is how you're going to survive that next bear cycle, in my opinion.
Yeah, that's so funny. Yeah. I was just going to say, it's so funny. I mean, Dope Tweets Bra in here, he's our developer, and he was making the same comments about an hour ago about, people asked about derivative projects, and our stance is like, heck yeah, we want to make a derivative, but it would not be in the best interest of the community to do that quickly. Like, we need time for, people's equity in this project to build up. If we're going to do, a custom token, we need to let people gather their tokens that can then be used to, purchase the derivative. We can't just drop one after the other, because that's basically shortchanging the first project.
And even, on that, you bring up token, like we speak a lot about this, and Sean and I have discussed this off air too, where I really believe that to launch a token, you need to have so much different utilities available. You need to have such a diverse, almost micro economy that exists around your brand, because if not, it's just going to get fizzled out and dumped very quickly. And that's kind of always my fear with launching it. Yeah, we have all these ventures coming along, but that's like 1% of the utility that I would expect of a token, because it's supposed to operate in a currency. You don't go to Europe and get euros and only be able to spend it at McDonald's. No, you can spend it at every establishment across Europe. And each one of our ventures is just one of those establishments. So diversifying that is kind of the reason why we're looking, to do things that are existing as business models, but can be fine-tuned with the whole Web3 applications.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, BP, thanks for the question.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, I think we just, respect a lot of what you guys are doing, and it's cool to, hear your thoughts on these things as, we navigate our first steps. So, like you said, it's really valuable to have projects that are providing a service to the overall NFT community. So we really appreciate that you guys have done that and kind of showed, the proper way to do this, or a proper way to do this that can be modeled after for other people to be successful as well.
Thanks,
yeah, 100%. And that's really like what we're about and what we want to create. So from that, we're hoping people will find their opportunities to just continue it.
And it's still also remaining, flexible and ready to pivot too, because, what we're proposing 6 months down the line may not be the best option anymore, but we kind of still know that in this space, we just have to be on our toes, engaged with our community and delivering what they want and making whatever we believed in fit that. But yeah, man, continue what you're doing with the Bobby Rabbit, and let us know how we can help. I appreciate the question.
So,
all right.
Any other questions?
Not at the moment, but he brings up a lot of good points again, and we kind of always brush over our origin and how we started and what we've developed, but to me it's still our huge value proposition is this organic community of real people vested in the project, vested in and believing in what we're doing, in Guava's art, in the community itself. That's kind of how you just keep growing organically. It's like that 10x rule, if they tell 10 people and those 10 people tell another 10 people, you just keep multiplying and can grow pretty quickly. And we've seen that with the DazedDucks collection for a number of reasons, but it doesn't,
No, got rugged.
make us.
Or did I?
Can you hear me? I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you, Zach. We can hear you.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so it again kind of points back to my topic for the spaces tonight, this whole DAO concept. It's something that we just keep believing in, and even though a few people kind of don't understand the concept of a DAO just yet in real life, we believe it is going to be the future of corporations, in my opinion. I preached from the get-go how I think it's going to work, and it's going to enable us to really just build these ecosystems out like they are in real life.